Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Recently, I did a video about me leaving Twitter at the end of the year, December 31st. I'm going to be shutting down my TwitTwat account. I explain all the reasons why in the video. Feel free to go check it out, but it doesn't take the brain of Britain to work out. It's due to the negativity, it's due to the toxicity of the place, it's due to the fact that it's turning exceedingly partisan. And probably the biggest reason is it's now just devolved into a witch hunting site. Bored people with no lives, with big egos and low self-esteem. They pick a target and they band together and they just relentlessly attack this target, regardless of whether they've done anything wrong or not. It doesn't matter. It's a witch hunt. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And over the course of the last few months or so, they have taken their sights to people like Gina Carano. Gina Carano, who comes across as, to be perfectly frank, one of the coolest people out there. She's very funny. She posts some interesting tweets. She's obviously had an interesting life with her UFC MMA background, and then moving into TV and films, Deadpool, then going on to Mandalorian and other stuff, which she's done, of course. And she's been resisting this incessant bullying, this incessant attempt to cancel her, and holding her head up high. Now, that could just be because Gina has an exceptionally strong personality. She knows herself, she knows what she's about, and therefore these things don't affect her. It could be, of course, because she's an MMA fighter, and when you've been kicked in the face and punched in the face and all that sort of stuff, then yes, people on Twitter suddenly seem a lot less threatening because you know what the real score is all about. But you can't help but think, with this incessantness going on, it does take its toll. It must take some sort of a toll. This is just a selection of different tweets sent to her, compiled by Data Racer. Data Racer, as I've mentioned before, has done absolutely incredible stuff. Look at these blue check marks. Loads. This is just a very small cross-section. So what is Gina Carano's crime? Why has she been targeted for cancellation? Because she has her own opinions. She has her own mind. She has her own thoughts. And she doesn't just go along with the Twitter rhetoric. She doesn't say anything controversial. She has opinions on masks. She has opinions on pronouns. Some of you may agree with them. Some of you may disagree with them, but they are just opinions. And because of this, because she dare show off either some sort of spunk or sense of humor or character, that's what's made people attack and attack and attack. But be mindful and careful that karma also has a great way of working itself in. Let's just take this one person, for example, Courtney Enlow. God, Gina Carano is just the worst. Mando should be like Soderbergh did and replace her ass with Laura San Giammatteo. Right. Courtney, by the way, just got fired last week. Or is it even this week? I think fired this week from her job. Oh dear. Her website, her trash sci-fi girls website, and all the people closed down, sacked, goodbye, get another job. I wouldn't I wouldn't hire that piece of garbage, of course, if I were you. Karma, it's a bitch. But cancel culture in the case of Gina Carano was defeated. Why? We'll get onto it in a moment. Let's pick another example of the Twitterati mob. Somebody who's not massively prevalent on Twitter, I would say. You know, they don't have a massive presence there. Is, of course, Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson was cast to play Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian. What a surprise. Gina Carano, The Mandalorian. Rosario Dawson, The Mandalorian. The next person I'm going to speak about, The Mandalorian. And a few months ago, Rosario Dawson was also the target of a huge cancellation campaign on Twitter. Why? Because somebody made an accusation. Somebody made an accusation that she was an ist and a phobe. And they garnered some online support. Because as I mentioned, cancel culture is about witch hunting. All you need to do is put it out into the ether, and it doesn't matter if you have any evidence whatsoever to corroborate your story. That's irrelevant, because these people exist in a bubble of victim culture. Victim culture is what drives them. And so if they see somebody being victimized, they attack. And if you dare attack them back, they, of course, become the victim. It's such a synergistic, sick relationship that these people have, of course. However, the person that put the criminal charges against Rosario Dawson recanted, I think it was either 28 out of the 30 charges or 18 out of the 20 charges. Whichever number of charges they put forward, they withdrew all of them apart from 2. But the ones that they withdrew, all of them were about her being an istinophobe. So they all went. So that's no longer on the table, because the person that accused her of being an istinophobe has now turned around and saying, no, none of those reasons are actually correct. I have removed those from the list of charges. But it doesn't matter, because the court of public opinion is in session on TwitTwat. And of course, the people have already made Rosario Dawson guilty. You have been judged with no evidence, simply a story going out there which has now been proven to be incorrect. And even yesterday, Ryan Cannell did a video on this. Yellow Flash did a good video on this. But in the Ryan Cannell stuff, he was on Twitter and somebody was having a go at him saying, oh, look at this guy getting all, worked up over the fact that people are mad that somebody who might be an ist and a phobe got cast and they don't want her to be cast. Might. No evidence required. Not only no evidence required, the person that made the accusation has rescinded it all. Ill people. That's what Twitter does. It's brain rot. It's brain rot for these absolute imbeciles. Rosario Dawson, however, turned up on The Mandalorian yesterday as Ahsoka Tano. The people that cried for months and months and months for her to be recast in the show, for her to be cancelled, failed. Why did cancel culture fail? Tell you a little bit later. Let's go to one more person. And again, a member of the Mandalorian cast. In fact, the main member of the Mandalorian cast, Pedro Pascal. Now, Pedro Pascal, when his political party won the election, I think they have. I'm not actually sure what's going on in America right now, but I believe the process of transition of power is going forward. So technically there is a winner. I'm still slightly confused by it. Posted this out on his Instagram. Losers in 1865, losers in 1945, and then losers in 2020. Pedro Pascal deleted this tweet. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers let absolutely loose 2 barrels, both barrels in the face of Pedro Pascal, calling him a coward and somebody with no balls. And to be perfectly honest with you, Jeremy's right. This person who is a adult pretender for a living, he gets a piece of paper with words on and he memorizes them and goes in front of a camera and speaks them. You are no better than anyone else. Just because you get paid a lot of money for doing it is irrelevant. So people who watch his show come from all walks of life, all colors, all races, all creeds, all religions. People who just want to sit down at the end of the day and watch a TV program and be entertained. Maybe forget their troubles for half an hour, 45 minutes, and enjoy and immerse themselves in the world of Star Wars. Or what's left of it. But no, Pedro Pascal says to Americans, half of you, 75 million of you, who voted differently to me, who had a different opinion, who voted because of whatever reason, whatever policies you might have agreed with, or whichever policies on the other side you're opposed to, and therefore you switched your vote, you are akin to slave traders and Nazis. You are akin to those people. Jeremy was right in his video to go absolutely both barrels to Pedro in this case. And Pedro, of course, deleted it. Deleted the inflammatory Instagram post. Now, since then, he's put out a couple of touchy-feely posts. Maybe trying to smooth things over, because when this initially came out, he tried to lock horns with people, and I don't think it worked out too well. He locked horns with my nerdy girl, set upon all his followers on her, and she wasn't wrong to call him out on that. She wasn't wrong at all. That was posted was disgraceful. But he sent his followers to attack. Cowardice. Utter cowardice. But things stopped. Things stopped. And then a couple of days ago, maybe even yesterday, he doesn't tweet, he Instagrams this. A picture of him and Cara Dune, aka Gina Carano, hugging. Hashtag this is the way. I think making an indication that he's trying to build a bridge. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't personally want to attack him. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe that he realizes the stupidity of it all. I want to believe that he actually respects his co-stars enough to understand that you might have a difference of opinion on certain matters, but that doesn't mean that you are an istophobe or an ism. And until they reconnect like this, then there is not going to be any peace between both sides. Of course, there's a couple of nice comments to start with, but you just have to start scrolling down. And the very people that were behind Pedro and goading Pedro when it came to his attacks and his assaults and things like this, yay, suddenly start to turn on him. Of course they do. The cowards always will. So let's just go back here. How is cancel culture defeated by one word? What is that one word which defeats cancel culture? And the answer is very simple. It's no. It's when you say no. It's when Disney refused to cave in and sack people like Gina Carano and Rosario Dawson for nothing. It's when Pedro Pascal says no to his behavior and attempts to make a change. And I hope that it's a legitimate change and not one just for show. And Gina Carano, no, she resists the cancellation. She continues to post. She continues to have her own mind, her own will, her own personality, and God may it continue because she's awesome. And Rosario Dawson, a person who you would say would be on their side, who's an ally, who's a female, who's a person of color, as they like to say. No, we will not cave in to your demands. We will not cave in to your attempts to cancel somebody. And this is where companies, and this is where you have to use this word. If you believe in the power of your convictions, if you believe in whatever ideology is out there, you can coexist with people, no problem. It's not the thing that defines you as a full individual. It's just a part of you, a part of your personality, a part of your makeup. That's it. And so when the mob comes, and the mob is coming for all of us, we turn around and we say no. And we keep making our videos, and we keep speaking our minds, and we keep resisting. And every time cancel culture is said no to, it becomes weaker and loses its power. There we go. That's what I wanted to say today. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, hey, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.